Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Rodeo Time, the podcast. We've got a great conversation. Thank you, Donnie. We've got a great conversation coming to you with Mr. T. Willie Forilli, Tyler Wilhelm, as well as Jarrod Morris.
I got 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
Can we do this?
Leroy Gibbons is the musician who brings us all together. So, listen in. We're going to tell some stories. Got a little bit of life advice for you, and Donnie's gonna hit the horn. Yeah. I'd like to thank our sponsors: American Hat, Total Feeds, Can-Am,
American Hats, Total Feed, Can-Am,
Rock and Roll Denim,
Excalibur Containers.
Now on to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie, no, you don't have it for us one more time? Just
Rodeo time. Gotta get her on down the road.
y'all been touring together?
No. This is the first time we met.
Okay.
Turn.
Yeah, touring.
Turin.
They've been touring together. No, they've just met, and Leroy is the liaison, and y'all just doing music things, man.
Does Leroy know everybody?
Leroy knows a lot of people. Yes.
Well,
He's kind of the guy that hooks everyone up with, brings all the friends together.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
So, and then also, sorry everyone, we've got Donnie. He's in the corner.
You want to say something?
He's sharing a mic with Tyler, and so we got the redheads on that end, so they can relate. Are y'all stepbrothers?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Half brothers.
Half brothers.
Steph, we wouldn't be related at all.
Oh,
Speak into the mic.
But we're related because we have red hair.
okay, half brothers. Gotcha.
He's just got a red beard.
Do y'all
What-
play music? Do you play at all? You play guitar or
Not
anything?
really. No.
Not really. So
Not
that
enough
means
to
you
speak
do.
of. No.
Couple too many beers and you do, huh? Is that what that means?
Probably the opposite. Like I'll probably
Oh,
play
really?
more sober and less drunk, especially around Tyler because he just tears me down. Next song.
Hey, you gotta have friends like that, man.
Yeah. I'm just honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what would be a lot meaner is if it was terrible. Like if you were
And they
really
just
bad
let
and
you
he was
keep
like, dude,
going.
you should go out and play.
Yeah. I want to get you. I want to get you a show.
Yeah.
This would be hilarious.
Way meaner.
Do you want to open for me?
Is that what you're doing to me?
Yes.
Hey, man, let's come play the show.
Yeah, let's song swap, man, so I look better. No, I'm
That
kidding.
really is what you're
That's
doing,
really
isn't
mean.
it? All right.
Yeah. No. Let's get Donnie up there first, and then we'll all sound
We
good
get,
compared
probably
to.
get booed off. I want to hear you again.
I can get up there and play like the tambourine or something with you, Donnie.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
How do you sing?
Perfect. Donnie, I was over here encouraging you. I was on your team, and then you had to go there. Yeah. I'm not a very good singer, so
He
You know
found
that?
out with in the studio.
I did a song with Kojo, and there was like more like a talking part, but then I like recorded some singing just to be funny to like send him.
What was the talking part?
I can't talk about it yet. It's not out yet. But but the singing part, like it was the first time like because it was delayed. It's not like this where you just talk into it and it sounds all smooth. Like it was kind of delayed, and like I could hear myself.
Hold on. Did you just say you have a real smooth voice?
No, I didn't
that
say
what-
I had a smooth voice, but y'all can admit when you talk into this mic, the way it sounds.
Yeah, it doesn't
just-
have the echo, though.
It doesn't have.
Little
Yeah,
snap
it's
back
like
to you.
got a
Yeah.
little gravy to it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You know, like the way I sound now.
yeah.
So
listen,
smooth.
gravy.
Well, you can just talk in this one, and there's no pressure.
What's
but when
the
you're
what's
singing,
the delay
and
that
there's
you're talking about? Like in the studio with the headphones
I don't know
on?
what it was, but like I could hear myself like different than I can hear myself now.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah. It's
I
like
do,
it was
yeah.
like a little delay.
I've had
to
that
it.
happen to me, like
Yeah.
trying to record
And I was
vocals.
it happens on a microphone when you're like out speaking to a crowd, but
Oh,
like
for sure.
I've spoke enough in front of people that it doesn't really bother me. It doesn't hang me up when I'm just trying to think of my next sentence. But when I'm trying to think of my next sentence and also sing it, that was new, and your boy killed it. in a bad way, not like killed it in a good way.
Was it like a rap part, or was it?
No,
He did the talking part really good.
the talking part was fine,
He's
but
good
then
at
the
talking.
but then the singing part where we were just joking, I was gonna send it with him, and it wasn't so good.
Did he send it?
I hope not. It
That
was
would be
Josh.
so funny.
It was Josh Serrato.
I think you just had
Heck
an off
yeah, man.
day, though. Like,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
You sing good in like the truck. Like,
Yeah, or the shower.
yeah.
Yeah.
I never
But-
heard you there.
Yeah,
You didn't hear me that.
yeah.
I thought you heard me sing in the shower that first night at the hotel
No, like when you and Wes were in there together.
2.5 years ago. Hey, you were in there too, buddy.
Yeah, let's talk about this story.
We have on multiple podcasts.
Yeah, we almost lost Donnie on day
Almost
one.
left.
But if you're new to the podcast and you're just hearing the story, I'll sell it for that for sake of, the listeners that are like, what in the world? No, Donnie showed up at a booth, Oklahoma City. So we only had 2 hotel rooms. I think Caitlin was in one, and then me and Wes were in the other. Donnie shows up, and so we just let him bunk with us. It was 2 beds. He was brand new. So I was like, Wes, we're going to have to share this bed because I ain't sleeping on the floor. And I am laying on my back, staring at the ceiling. Well, first, Donnie says we went to bed at like 6,
The sun was still up.
which we didn't. But I'm at the booth,
Just laying
like,
there awake for 4 hours.
that's like my time to like catch up on sleep. Like I don't have a schedule. Like I just got to be at the booth, period. And so like I was freaking tired. I'm ready to go to sleep. And maybe it's summertime, July, so it gets dark at 10. Yeah, it was still light outside, but it was close to 9. Anyways, I was like, all right, I'm turning this TV off. We're going to bed. Sorry about you. Anyway, so I lay down, staring at the ceiling, go to bed, sleep best on my back. And sometime in the night, I hear this.
Oh no!
It was loud.
Please stop doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
Sounds really bad in the.
That's how I felt.
It's not good.
Okay, that's how I felt. And then I kind of look up. Donnie's awake too. Donnie felt the same way.
He's
Donnie's
sitting up
not making the
staring.
noise.
I wasn't staring. I was like peeking over there. Just like,
So this is
afraid.
first time you'd been around them.
Yes, and it's the first time I've heard this noise too. So I'm just as alarmed as Donnie is. I look over. Wes is laying on his left side facing the wall. So I was like, okay, well, at least he's facing away from me. So I get out of bed, and I walk around the corner, and I see both his hands. I was like, by his face. I was like, all right. And he's just got his hands like a little freaking kid, but then with his mouth, his eyes are closed, and he's just like, almost like he's making out with somebody in a dream or
It was
something.
loud.
Yeah, so
It was weird.
Dude,
very
I was
weird.
so scared to look over there.
But
know.
I had stayed, in Wes's defense, I'd stayed in hotels with him before. He had never done that before. We don't know why he was making the noise. Maybe his mouth was dry, or maybe he was having a dream where he was
Yeah.
making out with a girl,
You
whatever.
can't control your noises when you're asleep. But I didn't know what the noises was.
I can't hear you.
Anyway, so Donnie was freaked out. So occasionally Donnie likes to bring it up. But
Did you wake him up or like hit him with a pillow?
yeah. No, we needed that to stop. That wasn't gonna work. That wasn't gonna work. So, but then
tickled
I'm
his
just
feet.
glad that I woke up enough to like that way. Like it wasn't just this story I had no control over, and Donnie brought it up the next day. And now, like on the podcast, he's just like, man, I swear this one night, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, because if you wouldn't have known it happened,
I couldn't
and he
defend
asked
myself.
you about it, yeah.
And then
you're
if I'd
like,
have
"Oh,
been
I don't know
like-
what you're talking about.
Exactly. That would have been
Whoa, bro.
bad. That would have been real
I wish
bad.
it would have worked that way.
Not
So-
me, because I don't know if I'd still be here.
Yeah.
Just wake up the next morning, Donnie's packing.
Yeah. Donnie never pursued his dream of being a bronc rider because of this one little sound.
I was
Well-
just glad you were awake, too, because I peeked over and I saw you investigating it.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
Yeah, me
it
too.
really put my mind at ease.
I don't know if you heard it though, and you woke up and you heard the noise, and it's just Dale hovering over Wes in the dark.
Oh, because I seen him like pop up and like look over.
I was immediately mad. I was past curiosity, and I was like real mad. Like there's just little, as a boss, there's a lot of things that I think I'm super patient with.
Making us look bad in front of the new
My,
guy.
it was just like, I don't know, man. I don't know why, but it was just like, son of a why in the, like, mad. Like, just like,
Did you hit him with a pillow or did you just shake him?
I was like,
He got out of bed and like walked around.
and then as I shook him, I was like, what the hell's wrong with you?
What, man?
I just can't do noises like that.
Yeah.
I'm bad about it. Or even driving somewhere with somebody, if they're like eating chips, or my wife actually jokes with me all the time because she's like, I don't, this sounds terrible actually when I hear myself repeating it, but I like when we're on road trips, I don't let her drink water.
Yeah, that does sound pretty bad.
Yeah, when I thought about
trip, please.
please, sir, can I have some water?
Can you pull over?
Yeah, but man, alive. Like my fiddle player, he helps me with a bunch of stuff in like terms of like logistics and planning and everything. Really good fiddle player too, but my goodness, the way that dude drinks water. He'll take a plastic bottle of water and he squeezes it when he drinks it. And it's a plastic bottle of water, so it's like, dude, I mean, it's gonna come out fast already. Like, I don't think you have to assist it. And he squeezes it, and then he gets done with it, and he crinkles it up every time, throws it. Just drives me nuts.
It sounds exactly the way I drink my water.
I can't take it.
So you
like
can't
mouth-
even take the
Dude,
sound
but
of the
like
plastic.
mouth breathers, but also nose breathers. I can't
How are
do
we
either
supposed to
one. So
breathe
it's
around
like,
you?
You can't drink water around me. You can't
How
breathe
are we-
around me.
Man, you've got some high standards.
Dude, it's
Long.
rough, man. They actually say that it's a real thing. It's called misophonia, where like noises like that.
Okay.
It's a condition. That's,
So
that's what
whenever-
I tell my wife. There's nothing I can do.
Whenever
about
I was making that noise, like,
it. Dude,
that was really bothering you.
like I could run through a wall.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I could have ran through a wall that night when I heard it too, but it was more because it was a mystery of what the dang sound was. But smacking? When
Just
people are
eating with your mouth. Yeah, man. Come on.
What do you mean eating with your? What else you gonna eat with? So
Well, you
like,
gotta eat
we
with your
can't
mouth
drink
closed.
water. We can't breathe.
Can't eat.
with our nose. We can't breathe with our mouth.
Dude, it's rough. It's rough.
It's rough. It's hard.
Look, I'm the one with the condition. You know, I'm the one suffering from it. I'm a victim.
Condition. I don't want the condition.
Dude, look up misophonia.
I probably won't.
First of all, can't spell it.
Let me see what Willie Wardle wants.
Do you still want us to try and feed cows?
Yeah, you can. Just bump the horn a couple times. That's fine.
You got it.
Did y'all get done with that fence?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, bye.
They already tore that whole fence out?
No, just to like the first gate. I didn't want to tear the whole thing out right now. But, anyways, what were we talking about before we were interrupted by the peasants?
Mesophilioma.
Yeah. So
Call it
anyway,
1-800.
so touring with you is kind of like a chore.
Turn.
Touring with you is. So if there's even like a dialect we have to have.
Dude, well, you probably know Josh Ward, don't you? He's got like his backstage passes that all of his crew wears. It just says "tur," like hashtag "tur,"
Gotcha.
TUR,
Ooh, yeah, fancy,
tur badge.
or the opposite of fancy, but yeah,
Yeah, probably so.
gotcha.
Anyways, what were you asking? You said just being around me is rough.
No, well,
It was a statement.
Yeah, that was just a statement. So it sounds like you're not fun to be around.
Bet you're a blast at parties.
I didn't. I didn't
But
say
you're
it
an
like
awesome
that.
hang. Glad
so-
you're here.
Has it been like a full band experience on a tour bus?
No, sir.
Okay, so
Just got a
like
van.
a passenger van.
Yes, sir.
So real tight quarters.
Dude.
So you got to listen to everybody breathe.
Man. Well, at least we have like the noise canceling headphones now.
Oh,
But if I don't have those,
so we can like, they can be like right next to you and you can't hear them.
dude. I mean, honestly, I haven't talked about it a lot, so
Let's get it all out.
Hearing myself say it, I
does it sound?
I got some issues, man.
Get it all out. Dale can help you.
You know,
Yeah,
I think
can help you.
this has actually been quite.
I feel like, you know, being honest, I feel like a lot of what you're saying is probably most people.
You think so?
Yeah, like
Dude,
listening
but
to someone. If you can hear, kind of like, I mean, Tommy Boy. He says, "I can actually hear you getting fatter." You know, like that's a thing. When people eat loudly, it's a little annoying.
But
so,
how are some people? All right, so look, there's some areas of this issue that I am a hypocrite. Like I just crunched on this ice, and like if somebody else did
I didn't
that,
notice.
yeah, exactly. If somebody else did it, I'd be like, hey, bro,
Yeah,
cut it out.
cut it out.
But I
running a
did
tight
it,
ship
and it's
here.
like totally okay.
kind of like your own poops don't stink that bad. Is that what it's like? You know, if you follow in some
yeah.
like Tyler here, you know, you
I don't
may
know
not-
why I giggled
Don't do
like
that.
that when you. I just
Well, I'm just saying, like, if
Everybody
you,
poops.
nobody
Everybody
minds
does.
their own brand, so
True.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly. But there are other areas like how are people so unaware of how annoying they're being?
Yeah.
That does fascinate me at times.
Who raised you?
No, for real though. Like, I mean, like, dude, some loud smacking. That's annoying.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, or snoring.
I
Like,
agree.
if I'm over there just like sawing logs and somebody comes over and smashes me with a pillow, I'd wake up and be like, I totally get it, man. I apologize.
Yeah. No, now that, you know, the person doesn't have as much control over it.
True.
As much.
Like Wes.
But I know people that if you wake them up and you're like, hey, man, you're snoring, they like get bent at it. Well, why'd you wake me? I mean, come on, man.
This guy.
He's
right?
like, at least
This
he's
guy.
like courteous though. Like he'll stay awake until he
Yeah, I
thinks
try
everybody's
to be the
asleep.
last one to
That's
sleep.
really sweet.
Oh, man. Yeah, rodeoing with Leroy. Oh, man, what? Dude, you're snoring so loud.
It's like,
No,
I
I'm not.
just
Whatever,
fell asleep.
man.
Let y'all sleep for 2 hours before I tried to get to bed.
Whatever, man. He would get so mad. But I don't think it's that you were, I mean, it's not necessarily that he's mad you woke him up because he was snoring. He's just mad because you woke him up.
No, it's the way you wake me up.
Oh. Oh.
Hey! Hey! You're snoring!
Man.
What's better, getting woken up like that or getting woken up like this? I mean, both suck.
Honestly,
And then
though,
just a nice.
I don't know if you
Hey,
would
brother.
prefer. So you're saying just the aggression with which?
There's
Yeah.
no there's no aggression.
What?
there
But
is.
I think it would be more annoying if he was like, every time he's just like,
Yeah. See, you're right. My man's got a point.
you know what I'm saying? If he
man's
did that,
got a
he'd
point.
be like, dude, wake me up like a man. Why are you
Yeah. Your brother's a man, Leroy. Arr.
scared of water? But
Yeah.
Water and fist fights, but
Hey, I feel like those are pretty normal fears.
I would
maybe.
agree.
Deep water and fist fights and heights.
Mine's sharks and
I'm not
heights.
scared of fist fights.
I
like I'm terrified. I just
no one wants to get in a
it
fight.
just sounds
I
like
agree with that.
Yeah, dude.
I talk my way.
some
out of it.
people want to get in a fight.
I don't. I used to. I don't anymore.
Yeah, it hurts if you win.
Yeah.
Even if you win, it still
That's
hurts.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So we got a guy coming.
probably not gonna
Fight.
Not you.
Donnie can tell you better. We got a guy coming. He's like your size. His beard's not quite as long, but it's
That's
that red.
It might be redder than yours.
My eyes are up here.
I'm looking
He's-
at your beard.
He said he got in a fight in college when one of his somebody open hand slapped his friend in the face. That was what he was like. He doesn't normally like to fight, but that was the last time he got in a fight.
Yeah,
So.
I can see that.
I felt like that was a
Yeah, I stand up for people who can't
But
stand
if-
up for themselves.
At first, he said somebody disrespected my friend. I was like, that was the way.
To the
he-
point like where I couldn't stand by and watch it.
But in his defense, the question caught him off guard. But I was like, don't be dissing my homie. You know, that's what I was envisioning. Like, what did he say? Something about your mama? And he was like, nah, he open hand slapped him in the face. I was like, oh yeah, that's
pretty
disrespectful. That's pretty disrespectful. And what did he say? He tried to de-escalate the situation as much as possible, but there's not much de-escalating after that.
Then Willie asked him, he's like, is he still alive? And he's like, yeah, he's still alive, but I bet he remembers.
We were down in, I guess it was by Corpus. No, it was in Port Aransas, and we were in a Whataburger line. and I have there's this dude peeing out in the park.
Sorry for taking a drink.
Just don't eat the ice.
Okay, you got
There's this dude peeing in the parking lot while we're in the Whataburger line, and so like I lean out the window and I was like, hey man, that's a nice watch. I thought it was pretty funny, and he didn't think it was very funny, and so he came stomping over there, and he gets in the window, and my wife was driving, and then my buddy's wife was up there too, and he gets in the window and he's like pissed. He's like, what'd you say? And I was like, I said it's a nice watch. And he started doing that. He's like, oh yeah, you think that's pretty funny? And I was like, bro, I was just joking around.
Yeah,
No big deal.
actually,
Obviously.
it's hilarious.
So he proceeds to he steps back from the car and he's like, well, let's do this right now. What do you think? And I was just a little bit befuddled, and he started doing karate, like full on
I'd be like,
chops and kicks.
Man.
And then his wife got out of the truck because she was driving. She came over there and he was trying to act all hard, and she started yelling at him.
You're not even doing karate.
Or she's like the instructor.
you watch one YouTube video,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you're Mr.
She's
Miyagi.
like, rotate the hips. What are you doing?
You call that a roundhouse?
She made him
What
get
the
back
heck?
in the truck, and like right before he got in the truck, he did like a little kick.
One more little. Dare you
Take a
to
roundhouse to the face while I'm wearing
But
these bad boys.
He's a big old boy.
forget about it.
I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, well,
Not because I complimented his watch.
it does sound like.
You want to do this right now? No, man, I like my watch. I don't want to trade. I'm good.
I mean, I'll buy it from you. Yeah,
It's my daddy's watch.
but so anyways, have you ever seen a fight from the stage while you're playing?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I guarantee
You know, and you
It's
should.
because he plays at some pretty trashy establishments.
Hey, yeah,
I've been
I
to a
have
couple
for
of
sure.
shows.
What's the worst place you ever played?
Well, first we got to hear about this fight.
You're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
My apologies.
Well, we
See,
was,
that annoyed him.
you know, most people, stop and they yell at them, from the stage to stop fighting. Well, I was not doing that. I was a little buzzed.
Whoop his ass.
Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, let's play him some fighting music. Started playing Stranglehold, and the whole bar just
you
erupted
go.
into a fight.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, I just kept
How many
playing.
people were in there?
I don't know. It's one of my shows. There was 50.
That's still a good fight. I mean, 50 people fighting.
It started with two.
It was
chicks,
actually
and it was
also a family
10
reunion
guys.
in the back. They just happened to be there at the same
Playing a
time.
little quinceañera.
So 6 people watching the show.
And then the rest were my family
44
members.
was a family reunion.
Yeah,
Just-
they had to shut down that Chuck E. Cheese.
They were sharing the VFW. They were sharing the VFW. Hope you guys don't mind live music while y'all's family reunion's going on. What is the
Aunt Cheryl got
most
stuck in the ball pit, and
hood?
it was horrible.
And we played it wasn't bad as in rough, but I don't even remember where it was at, but it was called the Second Floor Saloon. It just never registered to anybody what the name of it. And so we get there to load in all of our equipment. It's on the second floor. It's
stairs.
this old building, and it's so steep.
Was it full band?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There
It
you
was
go.
a 2-hour show. I think he paid us $150. It was right when we first started. And
A piece?
no. It was for the whole band. And oh yeah, anyways, there was 5 guys out there that just wanted to hear Turnpike Troubadours, which I love, but I didn't know any of their songs, and they're cussing at me, just screaming. And it was the last night that bar was ever open again. He was like, we were going to try it, have a live band, see if people showed up, but it was the same usual drunk people, so we're done now. And they just shut the bar down after that. It was over.
Dang.
I mean, it's
Shut
bad.
her down.
I did. Played there the last night.
Did you ever get mistaken for Red Shahan?
No.
No.
No, when I had my long hair, people told me all the time I looked like Stapleton, but
Yeah.
no.
I get Lance Armstrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
I
going to
could
say
see
that.
that.
I was going to say that.
He's got shorter hair now, but anyway. So what's the biggest show you've played at?
It'd have to be a music festival. There was one for a while called Buck and Wild Music Festival. It was up in Oklahoma. That was probably the biggest. It was 3,500.
Nice. Big show.
It was the biggest I've played for sure.
Yeah.
You played at Music Fest, huh?
Me? No, I played at I just played at a bar like downtown, like an open mic deal there in Steamboat, which was really cool. That's a cool place.
Steamboat.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's killer.
man, it's awesome.
Yeah, I know a guy can get you a ticket. Donnie,
All right. Yeah.
I'll
That'd be cool.
I'll email you the link.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think they're sold out.
Have you played at Music Fest?
I've only been one time.
When? What year?
Man, it was probably 5 years ago. I think something like that. That's actually when y'all know like Serato and Ben Hussey and those guys, because that's when I originally met Ben Hussey. Was up there at Steamboat, and then he ended up, I guess a couple years ago, he ended up playing bass for me and helping me get my feet wet with putting a band together and all that kind of stuff. And I've recorded all my music with them, but that's when I originally met them. And they did an open mic in the Grand. Something unplugged. They do an open mic in the Grand.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you were talking about, but that's when I first met Hussey. Was in there.
I don't remember the name of the place. It was somewhere downtown. It was like I want to say it was like a Jamaican bar. Like they served like plantains
Okay.
and like weird.
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 now that you can go to.
Yeah.
3
right?
or 4 Jamaican bars
Yeah.
in Steamboat.
Yeah, 3 or 4 Jamaican
And I don't know if
bars.
you've ever
It's
had
kind of a
fried
thing.
plantains.
34.
Kind of a
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Yeah.
You ever tried those?
Yes.
They're pretty good.
Hold on.
Blew
I
me
tried
away.
one in Florida this weekend.
Yeah.
Just like
Is
a
he
fried
are you
banana.
messing with me?
There's 3 or 4
Basically.
bars,
Open
not
mics.
Jamaican bars. Open mic.
Okay.
Yes. I was messing
Never
with you.
claimed to be
Yeah.
smart.
I thought you were messing with me, actually.
sir.
So I was just going
Oh
with it.
boy, we were in
Yeah.
a world of
Yeah.
something weird.
Yeah. Twisted dance joke moves.
What?
I like Music Fest because there's just so much. I mean, it's like a menu at a restaurant of
really
like
is.
who to go watch play.
Yeah. It's incredible, really.
There's
Like, it
not
really is.
any possible way to see every show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many going on at one time.
And that was one of the best shows I've ever saw was Brent Cobb there. Like it was
Oh,
full
yeah.
band, but it was like super intimate.
Yeah,
still.
up on the hill.
No, it was in that. It was inside that little bar. We went to it. Me
Yeah.
and you. That was where we met, or that's where I met that Charlie Crockett. He's also a great guy too.
Yeah.
He's really nice.
He seems cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only interacted with him once or twice. I love his music, but I've only got to meet him one time. So
That dude's like straight out of like a history book or something. Like when you talk to him,
yeah.
it's like he literally just got on a time machine.
He's like from California, like and hung out there. But then he was like playing
Crockett
music
is?
on the street in
Crockett?
New Orleans.
He's from
Or he
California?
spent some time out there. I know. He
I
did
think
that.
he's
thought he was
originally
from
from
Louisiana.
South Texas.
Yeah. Oh, see, I thought he was from Louisiana too.
See,
South Texas
So we
and
really don't know
Louisiana.
much about
He's
him.
I've never heard California.
well, I shouldn't have said he's from out there. He did a deal with like this podcast with Howler Bros. They did a podcast with him, and he was talking about how he spent a lot of time out there.
Did you know he's
Gotcha.
actually a doctor?
No.
Yeah, it's not true, but
Oh,
You just wanted to one up Donnie with him going to California.
yeah.
It's too much attention on the redheads. Let's bring it back to this end of the table. Just make stuff up. What about rodeoing? Have you been on a bull yet, Tyler? I mean, this says rodeo time.
Yes.
You've been on a bull.
I rodeoed until I was like 15.
How many bulls you strapped?
Well, that's right whenever you start getting on bulls, so not very many.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I
like
rode calves and
8?
steers. A number of
Like 8 or like probably can't 25
actual bulls or like actual livestock?
bulls. Bucking
Oh.
bulls.
3?
Okay. So if we can get you on one though.
Probably not.
You'll kind of have that like it'll come back to you, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. Well, my brothers talked me into getting on the Mighty Bucky at one point. I was probably
So you even had to
20.
be talked into to get on a fake bull.
Yeah, because I was like, no, that's just dumb. I'm not going to do that. And I pulled my groin, so.
I have seen this man blow his knee out getting out of a boat.
Getting in a boat.
Oh, you were getting in. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
that'll ruin your day.
I'm an athlete.
Like,
Donnie.
what do you mean blew it out? Like
Oh, I
how
popped
bad?
it out. Like the kneecap.
You just put it right back in.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well,
Done
you
any
got it messed
rodeoing?
up for a long
No,
time.
I didn't really grow up rodeoing or anything like that. I can rope a little bit, but not well. Just wasn't really my thing. Played a lot of sports. Then, like at the end of high school, I ended up. My brother-in-law is a horseshoer, and they're
Yep.
all horseshoers, so I started shoeing with him, and sort of entered, like, 'cause my family's not into horses at all or anything like that, but I got introduced to all of it that way at the end of high school. So most everything's just kind of self-taught, which is cool. It's not really super normal nowadays for that to happen. Normally it's something that gets passed down. So
How long did you shoe horses?
I still do, but I apprenticed with him for probably 5-6 years. And so he married my sister, so he's kind of like an older brother to me. So pretty much everything that I ever learned, he taught me.
You bet. What so like you
But I grew up in Decatur, so a lot of the guys I grew up around, that I'm friends with, they all rodeoed pretty hard.
So like you like got some horses you got to shoe this week kind of deal, or you just every now and then?
No, I mean it's at least 4 days a week, probably doing about 10 head or so.
Dang. Yeah.
Like last night I was working till pretty late.
Yeah.
It's very rare that like I get to shoe one. It's actually a treat most of the time when they're good footed, good conformation, and you can just fit them full and leave some heel on. That's like a treat.
Right.
And I might have one a week like that.
Dang. Yeah. Shoeing problem horses, that's where it seems like it becomes more of an art form rather than a job.
Yeah, and it's getting worse and worse because I think it's just the focus people are having within breeding horses is getting a bit askew, in my opinion. Like it used to be, you had to have, well, for one, you didn't have a lot of the veterinary work and the horseshoeing work to make these things be able to be sound. So it's like you used to, and there were more tools, in history. So you really had to have something that was put together well, good footed. And that still happens like with a lot of like real people that are like cowboying and stuff. Because when you're out in the middle of nowhere, it's got to be a sound horse. But now anymore, man, the way that most of them are just bred, it's just going downhill daily. Like even when I first started shoeing compared to now, if you're not doing some sort of like corrective shoeing on a daily basis, I don't know how you would ever, you'd ever get around some of these things.
Yeah. What would probably be, I think as a horseshoer, it's one thing if there's an obvious problem that is like factually this is the problem, and then there's an obvious solution where this is the only solution and everybody agrees on it. What would probably be super annoying is when you've got like a horse owner who's like self-diagnosing random stuff that, is like maybe they made it up in their head and they want you to solve a problem that maybe there's a problem, but that's not the problem that this horse has or whatever, like solving issues that just the owner thinks when really the whole thing is just pilot error.
Or they saw a post on Facebook.
Yeah.
It'd be like somebody reading WebMD and then going and telling the doctor.
Yeah.
Which like I get to a certain point.
It would be kind of like that, but yeah.
I don't have any. There's a lot of horseshoers that like they get pretty bent out of shape if people even have any sort of question or anything like that. It's like that's a little ridiculous, but yeah, some people think what they're wanting you to fix or what they're wanting you to focus on, they're pretty off base.
Yeah.
Which can get frustrating, but
yeah, I do know the few that I've trimmed is, I don't know. If they get too long, I'll trim them down, but I don't have much desire to drive hot nails in my own horses. I'll get somebody else to do it. But most of the time, I don't have horses on them throughout the year unless I know I'm going to be doing something really specific 1 or 2 times a year. Like, I'll kind of get something on them just to make sure. But if I'm just around the house, they usually just stay trimmed rather
you
than
probably got
shod.
pretty good footed stuff, though.
Yeah, and it's pretty. The ground around here is not too bad. Where we are, it's not real rocky, and they got good feet. It doesn't rain a whole lot. Like they stay like, I don't know. They're just not in a situation where. But anyway,
Down here near San Antonio.
yeah. Is that how far you felt like you had to drive?
No, I was just trying to help you out. So you don't get creepers out here.
Oh no, people know where we are. The warehouse is open to the public.
Okay.
Yeah. No, people come in. We get 1 or 2 people. I got an Airbnb out there.
Where?
That brick building in front of the warehouse.
Right out here?
Yeah, that's an Airbnb.
No
People book
kidding.
it all the time. This one couple came from, where were they from?
Indiana.
Indiana. They stayed for like 3 days.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Just hanging?
It was kind of like a vacation for them. They stayed the 3rd day on accident. Not on accident, but it just wasn't planned.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
Putting Airbnb.
Yeah, it stays booked. It stays pretty booked. So we're going to, I might do another one but it just takes me a while to get them put together because it's not cheap. But
For sure.
So,
Building houses.
point is, people know we're outside of Graham. The warehouse itself is in Newcastle, Texas. So y'all come check us out. It's not guaranteed that I'm here all the time. Like, they didn't even check to see if I was going to be here, because the lady that runs my Airbnb, usually on the app you can message the person, message Lisa, and she'll tell you if I'm going to be here. But yeah, they didn't even check. But good thing, I was here.
But
But
they got the full experience.
yeah,
They got to meet everybody and go to a buck out.
yeah,
Watch
Heck
Donnie
yeah.
and Willie both get on.
yeah.
Multiples.
So that's rarely a guarantee that you get to do that, but
But you never know.
you never know. So
That's why you got to book it a year in advance.
I got people trying to book it a year in advance. Opening weekend of hunting season, there's people trying to book it all the time.
Heck yeah. dude.
All the time. It's my first year.
That's pretty cool though.
But yeah,
That's
it's
a
neat.
great idea.
That was bragging camp.
It works out right now because because our warehouse is so close, and I got a girl who works in here and she'll clean it, but I don't know how they do it in town, because most people, if you hire a cleaning lady, $100 is what they're going to charge you. Well, that's kind of about how much a normal room would cost, So if somebody comes in and stays just one night, then
Yeah.
and then you got to pay somebody. So if you don't have an efficient way to get it cleaned, that's the main thing, I think, is finding an inexpensive way to clean. Now if somebody stays 5 nights, it works out a little better, but and it doesn't hurt as much to pay somebody $75, $80, $120 to clean it. But
Yeah.
What a crazy thing, man. The internet, how it developed all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
Well, now that's what I said. Somebody asked me yesterday. They're like, "Man, do you see yourself doing this?" I was like, "Man, my job that I have today didn't exist 10 years ago."
No, sir.
It kind of existed in mainstream, but it did not exist in Western world.
No, for an
No.
average Joe to be able to create something like this,
it's completely new, and it's all thanks to the internet.
it's the exact same way in music. I mean, there's no gatekeepers. There ain't no record labels.
100%.
There ain't nobody keeping anybody
It's-
from
it's
going straight
you
to the.
Yeah.
And the market.
Absolutely.
And that's what I was telling
That's the
Roy.
internet, man.
Because he's not been trying to hustle shows far off, which is fine. I was like, man, you don't have to. The way the internet is today, that whole not bullcrap, but that whole system of I got to get 12 songs recorded with this recording label. We got to put this out. Then I've got a tour. Then I've got to go on. There's these steps that if you want to put out one single per month and then just, find someone like you to record it and then you just promote it on the internet, you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can be a musician who's a YouTuber
Yeah.
who puts out their songs there,
And
There's
never go play a show ever.
Zach
Right.
Bryan.
Yeah.
He's huge now, and all he did was YouTube stuff, and now he's playing.
Yeah. Now he's playing. Now he's like a really big deal.
Yeah, the
But it's like
Ryman
anything
Opry.
else. You have such an industry and an infrastructure in place that makes their money off of musicians just working and touring and selling all this stuff, that they get you pretty convinced that you can't do exactly what you're describing.
Oh yeah.
They'll tell you, well, you can't. Go ahead, try to reinvent the wheel. And it's like, well,
Man,
already been reinvented.
I know.
reinvented.
If you're gonna
Yeah.
tell me that stuff hasn't changed, I look at my Spotify and it's they'll give you specific breakdowns of what cities people are listening to your music in, and it's like, hold on, you're gonna tell me this many people in some little town in Japan listen to this song this many times?
Right.
And it's like, and that happened from some dude in Decatur,
I know it's weird, isn't it?
independent, writing his songs in his living room, recording
Yeah,
it, and some kids
absolutely.
in Japan are listening to it. And you're gonna tell me the game hadn't changed at all? Okay.
Yeah, and now, granted, if there's a level you want to get to,
Yeah.
that if
You've
there's
got to play the game a little bit.
if
for
there's
sure.
a certain amount of money you want to make, because at the end of the day, the internet's not going to take away people's desire to want to go to a concert.
Right.
What I'm saying is just that for a guy to survive, for a guy to at least make a living, to enjoy his passion.
Oh, you got to go play shows. You
Then-
can't just do it just on the internet.
Yeah, like, well, I'm saying, like, you can be creative in how you do what you do, you know?
Yes.
Like, I mean, just because of the way, heck, you can put a spin on it. That's what Leroy's got merch on my website, which I've been telling him, like, to, like, figure out a way to promote it more, because,
Keep
like,
forgetting that I have it.
you can be like, the music thing can just be something you kind of do, and then you turn. Man, I was telling William Clark Green this. Like, I think every musician should look at their life. They should be doing two things. They should look at what they're doing through a media lens, and then also, like, not just merch, but like a brand.
Yeah.
Because like, if you consider yourself a media company, like, you guys live such interesting lifestyles that if you would turn on a camera for 3% of it, like, you would have more views than, you know, David Dobrik, like, who's a famous YouTuber, whatever. But the point is, it's like, you guys, essentially, with what I do, for people to be interested, I have to be interesting.
Yeah.
Period. For people to want to sit and watch an 11.5-minute, you know, Rodeo Time episode, for them to be interested, that video has to be interesting.
Yeah.
That's the foundation of what I do. And so, like, for you guys, what you guys do is interesting.
Yeah,
now,
but-
I think the twist, though, is that, hold on, I'm gonna finish this thought. I'm gonna let you have it. But, like,
no, I got you.
the twist is, for some reason, a lot of your guys in y'all space, y'all think that it has to be this maybe not y'all in particular, but everybody thinks it has to be this really fancy,
Production.
like, high, you know, expensive camera with sweet B-roll, and, like, really, to be honest, like, this
iPhone.
right here, if you found 40 minutes of just footage, conversations, behind the scenes, maybe 30 seconds of the actual show, and then go through the 40 minutes, get down to the 8 minutes of the funny stuff, and then call that and then do that every weekend, and then now you got 4 episodes per month. Then you've got, spend just a little extra time on design of your shirts, throw it on a website, you wear it and all the stuff. Now all of a sudden you've got 2 potential future streams of income: your YouTube and your sponsors who are going to want to be in your show, and then your brand, your apparel. But we all call it merch, and for some reason, the vibe I've gotten from all the musicians I've interacted with, like, it's just like, oh yeah, merch. And I'm like,
I see what you're saying.
I got
It's a really
over
good
a
point.
dozen people making a living on merch. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are missing an opportunity here. Like, treat it like a brand. Treat it like an
Preach to
apparel brand.
Something to be proud of.
Something that,
And
because
It's
make
got to
you
be
a good
something
living.
that it's a brand, and something that has a culture around it, and has something that has a story that you can sell as a brand, not
Exactly.
just a T-shirt.
but that's what you guys are trying to sell anyway.
Selling stories.
You guys are like,
you want to know what the main
these people
problem is?
are falling in love with y'all. They're falling in love with your music. They're falling in love with you, because y'all's 3-minute music song, you know, it connects with them just like my 8-minute YouTube video does.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they have this attraction to you, and it's not a game. I have that same attraction towards musicians and people that I watch on the internet too, like, you know, celebrities, whatever. Like, dude, if Denzel Washington walked in here, I'd be stoked. But
Yeah.
anyways, I'll get off my soapbox. But
No, dude, you
That's
are
good.
spot
That's
on.
really good points.
The main issue is most of us are lazy, and we like to.
Very true.
We like to. We like to look at somebody who we like to think that it's only about the art and only about the music, which is pretty much ends up being an excuse.
yeah,
And we can look at somebody who maybe takes the business side of it really serious and does all those things that you're talking about, and kind of denigrate it because we're like, well, I'm a true artist. I'm over here working on my craft.
I have a hard
And it's
time.
like, yeah, that's fine. You can have your success over there, but I'm like the real artist over here. And really, most people like that are just lying to themselves because they just don't want to put in the work.
Some people might be lazy, but I have a hard time believing that a career failure is lazy. I don't think it's laziness. Maybe it's that you may not see a certain opportunity here or there, but all you got to do is delegate. You know, like you talk to the. I mean, like, dude, the freaking internet. We just talked about it. Like, there's so many designers on there. You know what most people charge for a design? $150,
Yeah.
$200. Dude, that's 6 shirts. 6 of the shirts I got to sell to pay for this bad to the bone.
Yeah.
You know how long I've been selling this design? Like, joke's on them. I'd have paid double.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, like, you get the right design, then you just you find a way to market it. Now, I love sales, but I hate sales. So, like, there's kind of a lesson to be learned there. You can't just make your social media. When you're doing this just to make money, people can smell that a mile away.
Yeah.
The reason why I don't think that'll be the case with you guys is because of what you're doing on the weekend. Like, you guys are entertainers. You have a passion for entertaining people. So if you guys turn the camera on, I have a very strong feeling you're going to be very authentic in you're wanting to bring the audience value. And so that will shine through. And to be honest, I would start doing that without the merch, without the brand. Like, just start, because maybe it's not so much the t-shirts you're going to sell, you know, like maybe one day number one, it could help you get more shows, or number two, it could help you charge more for the same amount of shows. Mm-hmm. Or number three, what if in 8 years you don't want to get on the road because you've got however many kids and you don't want to leave, and so you want to pivot to this other thing, and having this giant established brand would help you do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
there's a dirtiness that a lot of artists feel with the business side of it, which I've never had. Like, in terms of building a business and selling a product to people, like, in and of itself, it seems like an art form. Because it's like self-expression. You develop a product or a service that you believe in, that you want to bring to people, and they're going to compensate you for it. Like, my whole family's small business owners, and it's just never been a dirty thing. But when I talk to a lot of, like, artists or songwriters or anything, when you talk about developing any sort of profit off of it,
100%.
They just get weird about it. And
100%.
It's like, but for me, it's just odd, because everybody used to just dog on the record industry, right? How there were these gatekeepers, and they could shelf your record, and they would decide who was going to make it and who wasn't going to make it, and then you'd be in debt to them.
Yeah.
And everybody would look at that and like it was so awful. And now we have this opportunity, like, through the internet, to build a brand. I can do all of my own branding. I can do all of my own pictures. I can write my own songs. I can put out my music and do it all the way I want to do it, right? And yet people will look at it and think it's not like being a true artist, because they really ultimately want somebody else to do it for them.
I see that vibe through certain, artistic people.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to, acknowledge the number. Maybe it's not that they don't want to acknowledge the numbers. They don't want to monetize certain things in a certain way, which I don't understand what the difference in getting like one giant check for the art, on stage, how different that is than getting like a bunch of little ones for like the art on a t-shirt. But that's beside the point. If they want to use, if that's their reason, like, no, I don't want to monetize my art in that way, that's fine with me. I guess in my mind, it's like, if you're going to go down that road, that's fine. But when it comes to the conversation of like money, and like, when you're done with this, don't complain around me about not having it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Totally.
all right, you can go down that route and not monetize it and blame it on, the art, but just like that, now all of a sudden, after however many years, when you are like, okay, now I got to figure out how to do the, screw the man, it's like blah, blah, blah. Like, no. You had an opportunity.
Dude, it happens. It's happening a lot with the streaming thing now, where I'll see these guys post something and they'll be like, they'll be like, look at the streams that I had. It'd be nice if I got put on an editorial playlist by Spotify. Well, that must be nice to get all those streams. Like, you didn't have to work to get on there. And it's like, man, nobody was there when I saw my streaming numbers drop to like 10,000 monthly listeners, and it was going backwards every day. And so I got on there and I looked at user-based playlists. And this is a little cheat code if you're willing to do the work. Because I got down to like 9,000 monthly listeners, and I would get on Spotify every single day, and I would develop a list of user-based playlists, right? So I would go through and find somebody that had 100 followers on a playlist, and it's one that they put together themselves. I would look at the profile picture, and I would or the name, and I would look and see if they had a profile on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And if they did, I would go direct message them, and I would do 50 a day, right? And it took a lot of time and a lot of effort. And it's not a lot of followers on those playlists. They're tiny. But that person was so excited that I messaged them. Because nobody listened to it. 50 a day. And so I would go, hey, man, I listen to your playlist. I dig it. And I was being honest. I listened to their playlist, and it was similar music to what I like. I'd say, maybe you should check out some of my music. And so every single day, I don't know, maybe half of those people would add one of my songs to their playlist.
Yep.
So the next day there would be 50 more listeners on my Spotify, another 50,
I've been
another
really
50.
smart.
and then guess what? It's like I saw that if I could get up to 30,000 monthly listeners, typically you got added to an editorial playlist on Spotify. What happened? I hit 33,000 monthly listeners, released a new song. Then it jumps to 75,000 monthly listeners because I get put on an editorial playlist. And then I can go to some bar where guys hang out every single night during the week and talk trash about every other artist. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, that must be nice. Lucky Larry Joe's your manager. It's like, yeah, well, you weren't there every morning at 5 a.m. when I'm freaking.
Yeah. I'm doing the exact same thing with my Netflix show right now. Just encouraging, like, I'll talk to, if they got 500 followers, if they got 5,000, if they've got 1,400. And I mean, I'm just asking them to go watch it. And then if they do watch it, maybe they post it on their story.
You can call
but
it our Netflix show.
They do that on their own. They do that on their own, like as far as the posting. But like, I'm just encouraging people, like, hey, go check out this show. But dude, that's the little stuff that is absolutely free.
Yeah.
It's right
Dude,
there,
you can
man.
go on the internet and talk to someone with 20,000 followers, and it is free. My buddy he started a TikTok, and we were sitting in a room this last weekend at a conference. It was like 500 people. Well, he had this TikTok. He had 27 followers. He had posted 4 videos, and they each had 200 views. He had just started it and just put these videos up. And he was like, yeah, man, I don't know. It's just not really. I said, bro, you've had a TikTok for 24 hours, and more people than what's in this damn room have watched your videos.
Absolutely.
For free. 800 people had watched his videos. And he's doing construction. He just puts them on TikTok, just talking about the new construction he's doing on this house. And he was like, man, you're right. And so since then, he's made about 27 videos. And he's put them on Instagram. He's got it doing Facebook, and he's doing YouTube. And I'm like, I've been telling this guy for years, because I call him and he'll say something, and he's like, and I'm like, man, that's a little different than what you told me 6.5 years ago when we were talking on the phone behind the barn. You explained this, and he was like, yeah, that's why I got to be careful what I tell you. But he's just like that good of advice. And I'm like, bro, if you don't start talking on the internet, it's going to be some wasted wisdom, Anyway, so he's finally doing that. But the point is like, whether you're selling houses, you're selling music, you're selling T-shirts, like, nobody, for you to sell me a horse, you literally have to have my attention. Like, we got to be either texting, you got to have my attention.
Yeah.
Whether you want to sell me a song, whether you want to sell me, and it's funny because, like, I'll have these conversations with people, and they have this product or whatever, and like, they'll find out like what I do, and I can see it register in their head, and I can see the question coming, and it's almost like this same buddy I was telling you about. He and I were talking about this very conversation. He was like, it's kind of like when my 4-year-old, I could see him playing in the sand with his trucks, and he looks at the skid steer, and I see him get the idea, and he comes over to me, And before he finishes the sentence of "Can I drive the skid steer?" I realize what he's asking, and no, you cannot. Go back and play with. Same thing with like someone, they've got this product and they figure out I'm a YouTuber, and I can see you got these people that are watching your show. I got this thing I want to sell to those people. I'm like, no.
Get
I'm
away
too
from me.
expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that like in an arrogant way.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is like, I don't want to waste their time. Like you better be ready to make it worth my while if I'm going to waste their time.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
The
here
eyeball
lately,
real estate, man. They
like-
just think it's free.
and the reason people watch my stuff is they've gotten to the point where they're, like they want to be entertained.
Totally.
They don't care about my problems.
Yeah.
They don't care about our money issues. All 5 of us up. They don't give to. They got issues too.
Yeah,
They are going
absolutely.
to escape. They're going to be entertained. That's why they listen to your music. Because they can relate to it, and it like takes them away from their problem for that 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then when the song's over, they're right back to their problems. So like, if you got that 3.5 minutes, and then all of a sudden you start selling to them, they're checking out, baby.
Yeah. But like our generation very much so is buying into a story and a culture around like whatever the product is. Like our parents' generation, it was like, I smoke Marlboro Reds because actually that's not even true. I was going to say that they only smoke Marlboro Reds because that's the brand that was put in front of them the most. But even something like that, like what did they do? They sold a culture and a story around that cigarette. Like Marlboro Man, I mean, that was a culture that sold those cigarettes. So I guess it's actually always been that way. It's just the platforms in which the way that we sell the stories now is a little bit different.
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Is that
The
in
successful
the frickin'
brands
40s
sold
and
they sold a
it
story.
was 30s and 40s. It was a radio. Then it turned into a TV. Now it's the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
And so music is the same way. Even the way I consume music, when I find somebody that I really sink my teeth into, the music has to be good, and I like it for reasons. Oh, it's a good melody, it's got a good hook, like different things like that. But there usually is something more that I chew into, where it's like, oh no, this, and even the way I describe the music to somebody else. It usually has something to do with like about the person, like Charlie Crockett. What were we talking about? The melodies that he writes?
Yeah.
No, we were talking about where is he from? He seems like a mysterious person. It's like a blast from the past.
Yeah.
In the same way, music is a lot like that, And there's a lot of guys who write incredible, amazing music, and it never really gets out, and never catches on with anybody.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how does the average person describe to their friend why they should listen to the music? Like, look at Cody Johnson. What's the first, like, when somebody says, hey, you should listen to Cody Johnson, what's the first thing that they say? It's like, the guy used to rodeo. Yeah, he's a real cowboy.
Yeah.
They don't say, like, oh, he writes amazing melodies.
Right.
Oh, yeah, when he goes into his falsetto, it sounds amazing. No, that's not the way they do
Right.
it. They talk about the story.
No, that's 100%. Like it's all about, and that's what even the Netflix show, like that's what they hammered on, and I was used to doing it in a little 12-minute increment, and that's what's so different about the Netflix show. It's like people got invested in the story. They wanted to find out how Jordan's bull ride is going as she's rebounding from an injury. They want to figure out how Donnie's first rodeo goes. Like they're invested in the story. That's what makes you binge watch.
Yeah.
the
Interesting.
show.
So did you think about it being more like a how-to?
No,
Oh.
I just want to make people laugh. That's always been my priority, But a lot of our Rodeo Time episodes, some of them will be a part 1, 2, and 3 occasionally. Part 1 and 2 where you got to follow a story. But most of the time, it's like there's a beginning and an ending in that video. You start it, and then you want to see the finish of that. In that 10, 12 minutes, but there's not. The story isn't as important as the just the comedy to me. And I've always known that a story is important, but doing the Netflix show has really shown me. It reminded me how big of a deal that is in what we do online. So same thing with y'all in music, though.
The best one I've seen is that freaking when you put the sneakers on the
Oh yeah,
horse, dude. That is
how to shoe a horse.
the funniest.
I like to go with the New Balance, the 1032s.
Yeah, I like the deals y'all do. The things cowboys don't say.
Yeah.
You thought you could put a new ball in your Prius, and I wouldn't. Let me see that thing. think that's hilarious.
Let me see that thing. Yeah. No, that was a fun one. That was a fun one to do. Things Cowboys don't say. But
We'll do another one.
Yeah, y'all should. Those are great,
yeah.
man.
No, those little skits. That's what got me started, got us started, and then the vlogs are where the story is, and so, which is kind of what I see with what something you guys could do.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It
It's
makes a lot of sense. It really does.
It's just like behind the scenes, and then like I could see people watching y'all stuff, and that people could become a fan of y'all's like series and videos. Maybe it comes out every Wednesday. Start off like once a week, and that gives you time from the weekend, gives you Monday and Tuesday to throw it together. Even on your iPhone. Your iPhone comes with iMovie. You just put it together on iMovie, throw it on the internet, call it whatever you want. But like I could see people, falling in line to like watching the show, and they may not even listen to your music,
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Just that thought alone is pretty powerful to like just like but to me that would be where I try to check every box. If I were playing music, what, Donnie?
I don't know. He's giggling over here like a little girl.
staring at me.
He did.
Keep giggling.
He made eye contact with me for a second. I thought he was just smiling at me, but it looks like he's smiling at everybody,
Y'all
Just
got
a happy guy.
which makes me feel more comfortable.
y'all got something going on?
No.
What's the problem?
Lord keeps looking at me.
Because you keep giggling.
Oh crap!
What's funny, Donnie?
Nothing's funny. Leroy keeps looking at me.
Y'all are weirdos. Anyway, what do you think, Donnie? Talk to us about.
I haven't been able to think because Leroy's just been staring me to death.
What do you think about music? What do you think about these guys' YouTube channels?
I think it's a great idea, and I don't think you can really go wrong with it. Because if an idiot like me can figure out how to make videos for somebody and people watch them, anybody can do it. That's my opinion. It don't cost nothing.
Yeah.
You already got an iPhone. Most of our most viral stuff comes from this stuff.
What's interesting about the songwriter types is you have to be so introspective to be like honest in a song, but it feels like a lot of guys, like in terms of like really selling themselves in that way and like exposing themselves and being that vulnerable that consistently. Ironically, you're so vulnerable in a song, but it feels like a lot of them would be apprehensive to be that vulnerable all the time in other
See, that's what I
aspects.
did. Like William Clark Green
Yeah.
was like that. He was like, "Man, I'm weird on camera." I was like, "Dude, it's me and you and a camera.
Yeah.
You play in front of thousands of people
Yeah.
all the time. Like if we mess up with this camera, let's delete it. We'll do it
Yeah.
again."
But see, I see it that way, like he's saying too. Like Will said, I'm that way.
Well, instead of hiring
It's
a
so
camera
weird.
guy or
I
doing
like to
something
hide
that,
behind it.
Y'all just
all.
one day the drummer's holding the camera, the next day the bass guy has it, next day
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
lead guy has it.
Yeah. See, I'd
Just
be.
switch it around.
Most of us
Give 'em an
care
extra 20
very
bucks.
very deeply what everybody thinks about them. As
Yeah.
much
Yeah,
as
and
you
it's
gotta-
it's
as
the
much
biggest
as all of them
downfall
try
of
to-
a lot of
yeah.
musicians.
You got.
As
That's most people. Period.
that is true.
And you gotta shake that. You gotta leave that at the door. These guys have kind of got a dose of that with the whole Netflix thing.
Yeah.
Which there was way less negative feedback than we anticipated because we're so hard on ourselves. We just felt like they were going to be, and I'm sure there's some people out there that didn't enjoy watching it, but they're just not, like Tyler, they're just not speaking up. Like there's just not been a lot of negative feedback
Yeah.
in the comments like we anticipated.
Yeah, but it was good. And
was
it really was good.
It
and
was
entertaining.
really good.
It really
yeah.
was.
But essentially, it was just a lesson. Like number one, we were way better than we thought we were, and then number two, like who cares?
Yeah.
If a few people hate it, like man, if we would have not done that because a few people might not
Because a little
like
fear.
it, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that's just it. You got to really analyze and check why you don't do something, and if that's why you don't, like, you had to get over it to play music.
Yeah.
You had to get over it to play music.
I care what some people think.
Yeah. So, like, if your wife came to you and she was like, hey, you've been making some terrible decisions lately. We're going to go broke, and you need to get rid of your girlfriend on the
Oh,
you know what I'm
gosh,
saying?
yeah.
Like, you'd be like, okay, I care what you think. I need to change my life around.
Daddy don't have no girlfriend on the side.
I know you don't, but I'm saying, like
Ain't
this,
got no-
if
Let's be clear.
so, but when Steer Rider Pants 47 says, like, you don't ride bulls good,
Steer rider pants.
you know what I'm saying? That shouldn't bother us,
Absolutely.
Instead, we're like, man,
I'm gonna fight you. Give me your
I'm gonna
address.
find out what junior high you go to, and I'm gonna make your gym
Exactly.
teacher peg you with a ball.
But see, even in with that same thing, there's an element of like being successful that you do to a certain degree have to appeal to a broad audience. So like there is a little part in a business sense where it's like when Steer Rider Panties 47 says I don't like you or anything that you stand for, there's an if enough people start saying that, there's like a self-awareness where you got to be like, okay, am I like
Yeah, but
You know
that's
what I
where. Yeah, but if what you've done up to that point is
yeah, that's
number
true.
one in line with your beliefs, number two something
yeah.
you're passionate about doing, and well, just those two things. Then
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's true.
For
Like-
sure.
Like I feel like I'm doing what God wants me to do in my life, but I still, and that really, I guess that's just bad faith of me to do that. But I do it a lot, all the time, worry about what people think. But I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So
And
Just
I
gotta
think
grow up.
the time to pivot away from that is if you get to the point where you don't want to do it anymore.
yeah,
For your reasons, you know, like that's what. The other thing is like
Don't
this
read the
isn't 2007.
Yeah.
You know, like where no one's ever made one of these videos I'm talking about. Like
Oh
you've
right.
you've
yeah,
got
this is not like earth shattering at this
it's
point.
not gonna. It wouldn't be weird.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
you now, I mean, like you don't have to make some big announcement. Like what I would do is just make the video
and just do
just
it.
be like, hey, here's a video of our weekend. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, and there's definitely people out there doing that for sure right now.
T Willie weekend
And it's,
recap.
I love watching them. Like my friends that do them, like Southall and them, and like Co does them, and like I love watching them. I think they're
Dude, it's
great.
behind the scenes.
in my bed.
Yeah, I think it's great stuff. Like I enjoy watching it myself.
Dude, you're gonna get some gold out of those, and
They-
then all of a
people
sudden,
get-
it's this. You look back, dude. We watch old videos all the time.
Yeah.
I watched an old video this morning. It's like, it's fun. It's like a journal. You're journaling.
Some of
Video
my
journaling.
favorite we've done were the first ones.
Yeah.
Most exciting. Most
I
laughs.
what do you think, Leroy?
About what?
These videos.
Which ones?
Yours. You should. I'm talking about you.
Dude, I film for you. If I have a camera in my hand, I'm usually
Yeah, but you
turn it
you
on
got
yourself, do
you
your own
got
deal.
some you got some time.
yeah.
You got some extra time on your hands. You should be making some videos of you.
yeah.
We've been talking about T Willie and Jarrod, but the world needs more Leroy.
Oh, definitely. I've been saying that, but you keep saying no. Stop talking. Get behind the camera.
I don't remember saying that.
Well, it's more with your eyes.
I'm wearing sunglasses.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like facial expression. I've known you for a while.
I got
so
a beard.
I know your face.
You can read my beard.
I can,
your face.
I can read your.
They're just all the things Dale's beard was telling me today.
What's that bottom lip? If it's over here, he's pissed off. It's
That's
over
what,
here,
like-
he's thinking. If it's in the middle, just
Dude,
don't bother.
He's not there.
He
just
went-
like whenever he called me earlier, like Leroy here, which in the mornings, you know, most people are
Well,
kind of,
You
and
told
then
us to be here at 9:30. I was just letting you know.
so he
Yeah,
calls
we're
me,
running late.
and I've been up since 5:30, you know, like just going, and he's like, "Hey man, we're outside." For the most energy he's had in the morning in a while, which is great. And I was like, "Okay, cool, yeah, we're ready." What's wrong? I was like,
I asked
"Nothing's
if you
wrong."
felt okay.
Are you feeling bad? I was like, "No." He's like, well, you sound stopped up. It's like,
Sorry for checking on my brother.
He said, "Well, I feel fine." He hung up, and I just couldn't help but laugh. It's like, "Well, I feel fine." It's like a conversation with me and my brother.
I was checking on you.
it was just so funny. Like, I'll call this rascal. Hey, dude, it's 8:00. We're starting at 7:45. Okay, I'll be over there in a minute.
It sounds just like you too. That's
Yeah, but
good.
I'm still in bed when you're actually calling. I'm not.
Well, I appreciate you checking on me.
No, you don't.
Hey, can y'all
Yes, I do.
Can y'all do an impression of each other?
We just did. Okay.
No, come on. You got to really lean into it. You can't just do the voice.
Okay, be me.
Yeah, like full on.
Me.
Tell me about like how it annoys you when somebody.
Hey, man. What's up, man? Oh, looks like you're working, doing your job.
Oh, you talking to me? Are you
Looks
talking?
like you're working real hard. Don't worry
Sorry,
about it.
no.
Don't worry about me, man.
this kid commented on my post like steer rider pants 47. It's really bothering me.
This is gonna get aggressive.
You talking to me right now? Sorry, I'm texting.
Oh, sorry.
That was really beautiful.
I'm about to pee in my pants,
I do have to poop.
and I got a meeting in town. But before we wrap it up, I would like life at. What are you doing? What are you doing over there? You and Wes. What? Give us some life advice.
Me first?
Yes.
Man, it'd probably be like a question
Okay.
that you need to ask yourself.
Yep.
It's just like, what am I living for?
Mm.
Like, what's the purpose of all of this?
Mm.
Like, and is that ultimately going to satisfy me in my life?
Mm.
And then I would say, after you ask yourself that question and think about it, I would go read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John
Mm.
and see where that takes you.
I like it. What do you got, Leroy? Life advice.
I can't use that one. Just go with the old OG. Wash your hands, say your prayers. Germs and Jesus are everywhere.
What you got, Donnie?
Take a chance. Columbus did.
Come up with something new, jeez.
Hey, I've only been using that for like 3 weeks.
Same.
How many podcasts have you done in
3
3 weeks?
Not that many.
3.
Be patient and trust God's plan.
Uh-huh.
That's not what you said you were gonna say.
I can't say the other one. That's for Rodeo Time X-rated.
I
When
would
do we do
say
that?
We filmed that on
we don't
Saturday.
have one of those. I would say to just take kind of like Donnie said, take a chance. Columbus did, but be sure you're growing your brand out there. Don't be afraid to be a Fruit Loop in a bowl full of Cheerios, because that's I mean, like, turn the camera on. You never know. And maybe you're not good on video. But maybe you find out you're good behind the camera, or maybe you're good at writing. I don't know. But if we're talking to musicians, you guys got to do something. Y'all got to start telling people your story, showing people behind the scenes. Take your merch more serious.
It's not
Anyhow.
merch, it's a brand.
That's what I know.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Dale Brisby, and we're on to the next one.